What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting to you from the D. Let's get right into the topic at hand. Got an update for that New Orleans 10 situation. That's what they've been dubbed. So you can tell the news is having a lot of fun with this. According to the sources that I read, this is the largest break in U.S. history, something to that effect. That's definitely not the history that you want to be making. If you want to make history, it's certainly not for overseeing something like this. But 7 of them have been captured now, so that's up from the other day when I was talking about this. It was 5. And before you start giving too much credit about how awesome their police and detective work has been, how awesome their manhunting skills are, nope. Unfortunately, they've been able to capture 7 out of the 10 up to this point because the guys it just does not seem that they were that bright. It just does not seem like they had much of a plan. Remember, I was saying that the 5 that are out there, they probably are with friends and family, something like that. You know, they had to have had a plan. It looked like I was wrong. I gave them too much credit, y'all, because two of them were out wearing hoodies and jeans in 80-degree weather, and they were captured on camera walking through the French Quarter area. So they're hanging around in the, like pretty much where every tourist wants to go, if you will. Like, if you're a tourist over in that area, you want to go there. So they're hanging out there. This is a place that has a ton of cameras. So yeah, not very bright. You had the one guy, he went to his grandma, somebody dropped a dime on him. There was a video that I saw being shared where one of them was asleep on a bench. So yeah, not really the sharpest group of escapees, because I've seen guys escape and they've been out there for decades before they got caught. Now, I wasn't going to give them that long, but I surely expected them to be out there longer than this. Some were captured like within a matter of a day or two. That's just crazy. And the saddest part is that it's due to their own incompetence, not due to the police department ability to hunt them down. And this isn't me throwing disrespect at them. It's just, the inmates have certainly made their job a lot easier in terms of recapturing these inmates. So there's a few things here that I found to be notable. All right. You have pretty much all women in leadership in this. You have the mayor, you have the superintendent. There was a female captain over a department who gave a presser. You have the woman in charge of overseeing the prison. You've got a bunch of women in leadership positions here, and they're living up to the stereotype of women and accountability. No accountability whatsoever. No apologies. This has led to a situation where you have 10 criminals out there. What in the world, man? And you can't so much as say you're sorry to the public for allowing something like this to happen. Just zero accountability. During the presser that one captain gave, she's going viral because she had on these gaudy green glasses, and she said that when they contacted the victims and people who testified against them, most of them were happy to hear from them. And I got a big laugh out of that, because that says to me that there was a segment of them that were probably really PO. Like, how could y'all allow this to happen? So you've had people that have left the area because they're afraid that people were going to be looking for them. People that they helped put away were going to be looking for them. It's just really disastrous. The superintendent, a woman, an older woman who got fired, being she was the captain. No, I think she was the chief of police somewhere else, and she ended up here. Why, I don't know, but she was given some award basically for women in leadership. It wasn't for how good she is at her job, because apparently she wasn't. It was just simply for her being female. That's it. That was the award. Hey, you are doing this job and you happen to be female. Here's an award for that. I mean, it's just, that's what's happening now. And you guys out there who say DEI works, it doesn't, because that's what leads to this. You have people who are not competent being placed in positions that they shouldn't because of what genital they have. I mean, that just, it makes no sense. You're never going to make it make sense to me when you're hiring people based off of if they have this set of genitals or that set of genitals, and not off merit, off competency, off ability. This is what you're going to get every single time. And I'm yet to see an example of where DEI works. I'm yet to see that. Remember earlier this year, you had that terrorist situation in New Orleans where someone was driving through the French Quarter area. Well, they've now discovered that they have archers to stop such a thing from happening. Yes, they discovered this. They already had them. So the superintendent, she was showing them to the news and talking about it. And one of the reporters asked the brilliant question of, when did you guys get these, or where did they come from? And she said, well, they had access to them. She basically said they had them, but they didn't know they had them. They didn't know they had access to them. So that situation could have been prevented. Again, this is what happens when you put people in positions that they have no business being in. There have been 2 more women who work for the prison that have been arrested for assisting the prisoners in their escape. So you have 2 women, COs. I'm not too surprised, because we see situations happen all the time where women be getting caught smuggling stuff in for guy prisoners, and women be getting pregnant by prisoners. So it didn't surprise me that it was 2 women. Of course, see, people say that it's sexist to keep women out of certain things, but you should keep women out of certain things. Women being around male prisoners, you always give rise for these sorts of situations. And when people like myself point it out, people want to give so much pushback, like I'm just making up the bad outcomes or potential outcomes that always end up manifesting anyway. So here we are. They helped them escape. So now their lives are ruined because they wanted to help some convicts escape. One of them is smiling in the picture. So she's not even really upset about the fact that her life is ruined due to this. It's just a whole lot of tomfoolery with this one, man. And I saw a picture of the hole they escaped in. So you have a hole in the wall, and inscribed on the wall are taunts. One of them says that it was too easy, escaping, and they misspelled "two." Are y'all following me? Someone who misspelled the word "two" is who managed to outwit them and escape this prison. Guys who are hanging around in highly populated areas, heavily monitored areas with 4K cameras, these are the people who managed to outwit this DEI leadership. So with this being said, Man, look, I don't want to get no more pushback. I probably still will, but I'm not entertaining it at all. I'm not entertaining nobody that says DEI works. It does not. You have a scenario where DEI is the leadership here. It's the leadership. It's not just filling grunt roles. It's the leadership. And it has led to 10 inmates escaping into the public, a public safety crisis. And none of these women in leadership want to take accountability. One going as far as blaming her political rivals for staging this. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You got a whole situation on your hand with 10 escapees. And you try, I mean, that is crazy. I could never imagine a man doing that. I could never imagine a man sitting up there at the podium and trying to say his political rival staged this. It was done too well. There's no way that just your incompetence led to this. I mean, there's reports of cameras, a huge chunk of the cameras not working. They're just there, not working. You have reports of lock mechanisms not working, either failing or not working. What a problem to have in a prison. Cameras not working and locks not functioning. But it was your political rival that... I'm gonna leave it there, man, because I could probably go on for another 20 minutes dissecting how goofy the situation is, man. Hit me with a like if y'all like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.